Well, hello my fellow car models. Welcome to another episode of Luka's Kits. We haven't done one in a long time, and this was kind of a request because I mentioned this kit in my last video when I was going through the junkyard. So here is the AMT Pontiac Grand Prix NASCAR race car. I believe it was issued like probably in the mid 80s, maybe like 84, 83, 84. That looks like the 84 Pontiac of Richard Petty's. And the unique thing about this kit is it's big. As you can see by the box, my hand here, this is a big box. It is a 1/16 scale kit. And hey, let's take a quick look at it. What the heck? Now this is an old kit. I have gone through it. I'm pretty sure everything is in here. I haven't looked at it, but let's hope everything's in there. It has a couple of sets of the decals. We'll look at that first. What the hey? There's your decals. There's another set of decals. Pretty basic. They look a little yellowed, but yeah, you could work with them. Here's the wrapping. I wonder why I say that. Check this out. I think I bought this at Toys R Us for $12.99, and that was expensive because heck, man. Well, I see what I was doing. I was keeping the glass in there. $12.99 was expensive back in the mid 80s for a kit. You know, you had the large scales were always more money. I think $6 was a 25th, 24th scale kit. Looks like there's some added parts in there. I see something interesting we'll get to. But let's take a look at the body. And they did a really, really nice job on this body. Looks a lot like the monogram. You'd think that it was monogram who did it. But I think they took a lot of cues from the monogram models. That's almost exactly the same. It's kind of cool. It has an opening trunk, added detail there. But that is pretty much what we're going for in a typical Pontiac of the 80s that ran in the NASCAR circuit. Got the nice flares. You see that? But all in all, the body looks pretty nice. Well proportioned. I had the Thunderbird, and I felt the Thunderbird was not proportioned well. But, again, looking very similar to the monogram, and this is a representation of a Laughlin chassis. Looks a lot like the front steer Laughlin chassis, but the nice engraving looks pretty good. That chassis, let's see how it fits, how the body fits together, and looks pretty nice. Goes to everything, doesn't leave too much of gaps. Yeah, that can be really nice. There's the hood. Now let's take a look at how the hood fits. Hood's pretty simple. Doesn't look like there's any hinges on there. So the hood just fits on there. I had glued, it looks like I had glued the nose on. That was a separate piece. But yeah, let's see if we can get this all on there. There we go. Yeah, the hood fits nice. Nice and tight. Now, that's a part of the roll cage. Nice transmission detail. It looks like we've got a separate transmission in the bell housing somewhere in here. And the chrome. Take a look at that chrome. Not too nice. It looks really good in the screen. Got headlight covers. It looks like an oil pan and air cleaner and valve covers. I don't have that open right now. And the other one is, looks like I got a missing wheel. I think it's down in there. But we've got the wheels, got the hood pins right there. We've got the steering wheel. Steering wheel looks a little small, but there's an air cleaner top. No, that's an air cleaner bottom. I think we have a top somewhere, but there's the wheels. And it looks like there's hubs right there. Separate hubs with the lug nut detail. These are the tires that come with it. That's the back. There's the tires. Looks like one side has Goodyear on it, and you'd think that was the back because you got to cut that out to put the wheel in. The other side doesn't. There's the other wheel. I'd have to cut that, pop a wheel in to see how it fits, but forcing it in there, get an idea. Moving along, there's a lot of pieces and parts in here. This thing's got a pretty high parts count. Not sure. Oh, that's a jack and jack stands. Oh, interesting. There's a seat, and it's got really good detail there of the seat belts. You could probably just paint those nice and have a good look. Nice 4.9-inch rear end right there, and the flip that over, underside of the chassis bars and stiffening and your trailing arms. We got some, I don't know if this got steerable or opposable front steering, but there's the upper control arms there, and the tie rod ends and everything. They look like they might pivot. We'd have to wait and see when we build it, huh, if it ever gets built. And the fuel cell, brake calipers, springs, pretty nice detail with the shock absorbers. And it looks like we got a fuel filler, a gas can there. There's your fire extinguisher. Some other parts I have no idea. It looks like headrest, something for, I don't know what that is. I'd have to look on the instructions. I don't have the instructions, so that should be a challenge. We got a nice firewall there with plenty of detail, good bead roll. You got your catch can for the cooling system, and we've got some other, like the oil can. This is probably supposed to be maybe clutch and brake master cylinders. This is the bell housing, because we saw earlier that the transmission was completely separate. We've looked at this already. Again, piece of the roll. This is the part of the roll bar that goes, the down bars, into the trunk. What do we have here? Oh, there's the rest of the air cleaner. I guess you have to paint it because it's blue plastic. And we've got pieces of the engine. Looks like the alternator, water pump, starter, fuel pump. Wow, it's pretty detailed. That looks pretty cool. And the carburetor. And I believe this thing comes with wiring. And look, it looks like when you get this onto the heads of the car where the exhaust manifolds hit, you got spots to put your spark plug. You got spark plug holes right there. And there is wiring in here to do total wiring. So if you look right here, this fits right into there. So you glue that in, you got spark plug wire. Isn't that ingenious? More roll cage, and you've got the roll cage door bars for protection so you don't get so crushed when a car T-bones you. Here's the intake manifold. It's kind of, you know, basic, toyish looking actually. I'm gonna have to say that. And there we go with the dash, and we've got pretty basic but decent detail there for the gauges. What else can we look at? Ah, here's the back deck lid. Wow, let me pull that body back out and let's throw the deck lid on there and see how it fits. And it has hinges, even though one of the pegs broke. But fits on there pretty nice. And there it is from the back and all that. And it fell off. I guess I didn't get the pins in. Top of the roll cage, we have some interior pieces. This looks like part of the rear firewall right there. And there's a bunch of miscellaneous parts laying around in here, as you can probably recognize. Just pieces of the roll cage, the dash, the headers, pretty decent headers. That's pretty much this kit. I mean, for back in the day, I wouldn't say it's at the level of the monogram NASCARs, but pretty close. You'd think being big scale it would even be better, but AMT was a little more simplified than monogram back then. And the tires, I really like the tires. They worked out. They look probably proper scale. Let's see. Go like that. They fill the wheel well up pretty good. We'll drop that right there, and if you can see, it looks like they're pretty wide. And get that chassis out of the way. That's pretty much this kit in a nutshell. And there you have it. There's the kit. Sorry I didn't have the instructions to show you. I probably have them somewhere. I'm probably going to need them if I ever build this. But if you ever see this in a swap meet or an antique toy store, pick this up if you want to do a large-scale 80s NASCAR. It's pretty decent. I would recommend this one if you happen to see it. And I know that later on in years, I think maybe 10 or 15 years ago, they reissued this kit, and the plastic is not blue. It is done in a gray. I see them on eBay. They don't, they're not that popular. They shouldn't go for really high bucks. So if you happen to see a good deal on one, you get it. I recommend it. You'll be happy with it. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Luka's Kits. Well, thank you for viewing. Please hit that like button and subscribe, share, let all your friends know. Remember, we've got Model Car Hobby Headquarters Facebook group. Join up on that. That's getting big. There's a whole lot of great stuff on there. And then you'll find out when I drop another video, because we can't rely on the YouTube notifications. Thanks a bunch. Remember, go to my Teespring store. Go ahead, get your shirts, get your cups. Thanks again. Have a great day. Get out there and do some model building. And we'll see you in the next video.
Luka's Kids, it's Luka's Kids.